Okay. Um, good evening, good evening from this part of the world. How are you doing? Today is another amazing Tuesday where we learn. I hope you're all doing well. Please, if you can hear me, I'd like to see your comments in the comment section so that I can actually know that you can hear me. So it's over a week now. Yes, it's over a week now since we had the Complete Woman conference, and it was awesome. It was amazing. I don't know how to describe that conference, but all I can say is that that conference was life changing. And the truth is that we're still going to be reaping the testimonies and all the amazing things you understand that will still come forth from that meeting. Until today, I have a very quick work to do. This is a new month. This is a new month, and it's amazing. We're already in September. We're actually already in September, and God is so. God is so good. Yes, God is so good. I'm sure you can see my face very well. You can see my face very well, and I'm so excited. Um, I'm open to hear your testimonies because if you go over everything that we learned during the Complete Woman Conference, there's no way you will not experience a massive shift. And I'd like you to know that faith comes by hearing and hearing again. So you do not think you've heard it. You need to go over again. And that's why the videos are actually in the community. You can actually go back and hear them again and again, again and again and again and again, so that you hear it the first time, you hear it the second time, and then you hear it again the third time. It's so amazing. So this evening, what are we looking at? I want to look at how you can actually thirst for more. And not just how we can thirst for more, it's actually how we can thirst for more and be filled. It's important. This month is actually a month where we're actually going to stretch more. It's actually a month where we're actually going to have some spiritual capacities developed. It's a month of study. It's a month of intense. It's a month of intense study, and it's important that we are thirsty. It's important that we're hungry, because if you're not thirsty, if you're not hungry, you would actually stay on the same level. You will actually stay on the same level. And God does not want you to actually remain on the same level. Whether you are a career person, whether you're a business person, whether you're in ministry, God does not want you to actually remain on the same level. Okay, so we're looking at thirst. Thirst. Oh, good evening. Thank you. Okay, someone say it's better now. Okay, thank you so much. And good evening, man. And Oluchi, you're welcome. You're welcome. If you can hear me, just let me know you can hear me. I'm actually seeing your comments. If you can hear me, let me know you can hear me. And I want you to get out your notebook and your pen, so that you can you can actually jot a few things um, down. Okay, so we're looking at how to thirst for more, and not just how to thirst, but it's actually how to thirst and be filled. How to thirst and be filled. I want to share because if you have ever been thirsty or hungry, I mean serious thirst. I posted something in the community today about this particular thing. I made a welcome note for the month that I posted about um, being thirsty. If you have ever been thirsty before, or if you've ever been hungry before, and then food was given to you, or a drink or water was given to you to quench your thirst, or maybe calm down the hunger, then you will appreciate the power of a thirst or the power of hunger. You see, A thirst, just like hunger, is awesome. That's the truth. A thirst, just like hunger, is awesome. A thirst is a blessing. But it's just that if you're not very sensitive, you think it's actually a disadvantage. A thirst is like, in fact, a thirst is fuel. Seriously, yes, a thirst is fuel. Then again, a thirst is like a yearning, you know, a yearning in your heart, a yearning in your soul, a yearning in your life, a yearning, just a yearning that "Mm, I need something, I need something, I need something, I need something." And it's very, very important. It's very, very important. A thirst is very important because listen, without a thirst, without hunger, you cannot stretch. Yes. Without a thirst, you won't dare. Without hunger, without a thirst, you won't stretch. Without a thirst, you won't dare. Without a thirst or without hunger, you won't you won't step out. You will continually stay in your comfort zone, or you will continually um, flow with the normal. You will not want to do something extraordinary if you're not thirsty, if you are not hungry. Have you been so thirsty that your saliva, the saliva, your saliva became gold in your mouth? That's how powerful a thirst is. And for someone who has even achieved something, or maybe you're actually making progress, you're making progress in what you're doing, everybody's celebrating what you're doing, you're making so much impact. You must understand that no matter where you are, no matter what you have achieved, there are yet more levels to go to. There are yet more levels to achieve. See, the entire world is big. It's big. Until we exit, until we draw our last breath, we must continually stay hungry or continually stay thirsty. And I'm actually going to go because there's some very, very negative thirst. Do you understand? So until we draw our last breath, we must continually gasp for something. There are people who have actually come to a point where maybe life has actually dealt with them, or maybe they've tried to do something, it didn't work out, and they've given up. So there's no more drive, there's no more hunger to do anything. It's almost like they write themselves off to say, I've done this thing, is not working. No. One of the things hunger will do to you, or thirst will do to you, you work it until it works. You work it until it works. You come to a point where you have this mindset that it has to work or it has to work. Except you have an express instruction to say, hey, abandon this. If not, you must constantly stay hungry. You must constantly thirst for more. Because the truth is, there is more about you. There is more about me. Do you know, if I remember, I was discussing with someone, was it, I was talking with somebody, I think it was on phone, I was talking with someone, and I told the person that looking at my life 14 years ago, no, 14 years is even too far, 8 years ago, who I am now, what I'm doing right now. If you tell me 8 years ago that what I'm doing right now, and in the capacity that I'm doing it, is what I'll be doing, I'll tell you no, because I knew I had something, but I didn't know it was at this level. But you see, staying hungry and wanting to grow and wanting to learn and wanting to stretch is actually one of the things that has made me to keep evolving. Is actually one of the things that keeps me evolving. I think that's the right word. And if 7 years ago I was not in this space, it means 7 years in front of me, if I continually stay hungry and continually stay and continually stay thirsty, I will actually be on another level. And I'm also saying this to you. Okay, somebody said, you can hear me. Oh, thank you so much. And I'm also saying this to you. Look, I want you to look at your life. Look at your life 7 years ago. Yes. Just look at your life 7 years ago. And look at your life now. Is there any change? Is there now? If you're actually here, I would like to get your responses in the comment section. Yes, please. Is there any difference? Is there any difference in your life 7 years ago and now? If there's any difference, I want you to post it in the comment section. If there's any difference in your life 7 years ago and now, I don't know whether 7 years is actually a long time. I think it's a long time. For some persons, it may be 3 years ago. For some, it may be 4 years ago. For some, it may even be 2 years ago. Is there any significant change in your life? I mean, when I mean your life, your life is big. So the different areas in your life, whether it's your career, whether it's your business, your work with God, maybe you're a parent, is there anything that has shifted? Is there anything that has changed? I'd like to know. I'd like to know because if you know what has changed and you know how it changed, it then means the future is very, 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 very bright. That's what it means. It means the future is bright. It means the future is bright. But if you're in this community and you say, nothing has changed, I am still the same, then there's a problem. There's really, really a problem. So it is your thirst and it is your hunger that will push you. See, have you been hungry to the point that oh my God, have you been so hungry to the point that you can just be chewing garri to pacify the hunger? It's important because if we live a life where nothing is driving us, nothing is pushing us, nothing is making us want to move away from our comfort zone, then we will not achieve so much. When you hear that people are successful, now whether it's spiritual success, whether it's in ministry, whether it's in business, whether it's even with raising children, it is a push, it is a drive, it is hunger, it is a thirst for more that actually pushes them, you understand, to stretch, because your thirst will stretch you. That's the truth. Your thirst will stretch you. And there's this very fantastic story in the Bible. I'm going to use the Bible, the story of the woman at the well. A lot of us know that story. The story of the woman, at the well in the book of John chapter 4. And this woman came because she was thirsty. Yes. So she came to the well to actually draw water because she was thirsty. And then she met Jesus at the well. Now, and they both engaged in a conversation. You and I know that this woman has really, yes, she's thirsty. But it's just that what she's using to quench her thirst has not been able to quench her thirst. And that's why you see her keep coming to the well. You see, until there's something in you that is yearning for more, you won't step out. You won't step out. In fact, not just stepping out, you won't even want to step in into certain territories. You won't want to step in into certain domains. The norm may just be, what you're very comfortable with. Now, if you want to thirst for more, what do you do? Because I have like the next 20 minutes. If you want to thirst for more, what do you do? Looking at that woman, at the well. Now, I want your thirst can actually be different things. Of course, I know there's negative thirst and there's positive thirst. Number one, you must acknowledge, if you really, really want to thirst for more, you must acknowledge that really you are dehydrated, that you are really, really thirsty. Sometimes people find it very easy to cover up. People find it very easy to hide. The first point to solve any problem is to acknowledge that the problem exists. Lots of people who have written off 2020. There are lots of people who have written off 2020. It's almost like it's a bad year. Just forget it. In fact, some persons are actually waiting for 2021. But do you know that in this 2020, there are people whose lives have advanced. There are people whose spiritual work with God has improved. There are people whose children were not doing so well. In fact, all these years, that it was even during this COVID time that they harnessed some things, in the life of their children, that they mentor their children more. There are people who have never done business before. It was during this COVID time, the hunger, the thirst pushed them to actually get out of their comfort zone, and they began to do the things that they were not ordinarily doing before. So you must acknowledge that, hey, I need it. This is where the problem is. For that particular woman at the well, when Jesus began to talk with her and Jesus got into that conversation, and Jesus said something, Jesus told her to go and call her husband. Jesus told her to go and call her husband. And she said something. She said, it was obvious that she has had 4 husbands, and even the one she was living with was not even her husband. You must acknowledge that, hey, you see, in this particular area, maybe it's your prayer life. It's dry, very dry. Maybe it's your study life. Maybe it's a life of unforgiveness that you find it very, you are really dehydrated. You find it very difficult to let go. Maybe it's even procrastination. Maybe it's procrastination. I will do it, and you never do it. Maybe it's envy. You just feel, you see people are doing well, and then something just keeps churning on your inside not to celebrate them. Maybe it's envy. Maybe it's negative competition. You want to acknowledge that, hey, do you know, the best person to tell ourselves the truth is us. The best person to tell myself the truth is myself, because I know myself. So you must look at your life. I mean, it's 4 months to the end of 2020, and at the end of 2020, a lot of people are going to be sharing testimonies. People are going to be saying, hey, in fact, some people are going to be thanking God for the COVID. People are going to share testimonies. So you want to look at, what area in my life am I dehydrated? What area in my life do I need to be filled? Because it's not enough for you to thirst. It's also for you to be filled. And then for you to now scale up your thirst by thirsting, for positive things. So you must acknowledge it. Number 2, number 1, I said you must acknowledge it. Critically look at, the different, as a human being, you're a composite being. You're made up of different parts. You want to look at the different areas of your life and look at this area, this area, this area, this area, and write them down. Write them down. Write them. Don't say, I have it, in my head. Write them down. Write them down. Because, a new month does not automatically mean a new you. Just like at the end of the year, or maybe no, at the beginning of the year, you hear people say, hey, this is my new year. A new year or a new month or a new week does not automatically mean a new you. No. You have to, I have to intentionally do something. I have to intentionally do something for me to be new with the new week or the new year or my experiences have to be new, but the truth is that my involvement must be in place. It's very important. Number two thing that you will have to do is that you need to stop trying to quench your thirst with the things that will never satisfy. For that particular woman at the well, I think she was actually trying to quench her own thirst with relationships with men. Men. I'm sure with all those men, plenty of sex. But still, she kept coming back. She had 4. And then the 5th one right now is actually not her husband. So you need to, because there are things that people think will actually fill them up. Those things are actually draining. For some persons, it may be relationships. There are people who hold on to relationships that have not added any value to them, and it's just sheer emotional attachment. And there's this video that I posted in the community about how God blesses you through addition and subtraction. Yes. I posted that video. I said how God blesses either through addition or subtraction. That sometimes, not so, all the time, when God wants to bless you, he sends somebody into your life. Or when he really wants to bless you too, he subtracts some people from your life. Sometimes you have to intentionally, strategically, with wisdom, subtract some persons from your life. Reduce your exposure to them because they are not fueling nothing in your life. They are not. They are not. For some persons, was it I think it was 3 weeks ago. Yes, 3 weeks ago, after speaking in our local assembly. I don't know how I stumbled. I was speaking and I started talking about unforgiveness. And I said how unforgiveness actually can keep you bound. Unforgiveness can keep you on a spot for a long time. And then somebody walked up to me and said, she felt like standing up and saying, why should I forgive? That for her, she feels good not to forgive. She feels good being very vengeful. So if you're listening to me, whether you're watching this now or you're watching it on the replay, there are things that will never quench the thirst that you have because they're actually negative. They are negative. So you want to find out, is it unforgiveness? You need to stop drinking it. You need to stop feeding it. Is it a bad habit? You need to stop feeding the bad habits. You need to stop feeding the bad habits. Some habits are bad. They will never help you. They don't help. So you need to do that. For some persons, it may actually be negative self-talk. Negative, they drink it. They drink it. They feed on it. And you know one of the dangers of negative self-talk? After you have actually spoken to yourself negatively, you'll be so drained as though you climbed a hill. That's how draining. So stop drinking. Stop feeding. Stop feeding it. Stop drinking whatever it is to quench your thirst. It will never satisfy your thirst. It won't. It won't. We need to come to a point where we become very responsible for our lives and stop blaming it on circumstances, on fate, on background, on people, or even on lost opportunities. A hungry man, a thirsty man will find a way. But the challenge is that some people actually, what they are finding is actually not actually satisfying their thirst. I shared the story of the woman at the well. For her own, she was using men. So you want to ask yourself, what are some of the things that you're actually trying to do to satisfy you or pacify yourself? It's not working. So you must come to a point where stop drinking it. Stop drinking it. You do not need permission to be excited and happy. You don't. You don't. You don't. Stop dwelling on a past that you cannot change. Oh, this happened. Oh, this happened. Oh, this happened. And then you get to a point where you have built, you have erected an edifice of a mountain of discouragement. That anytime you want to lift up your head, those voices, they are in your head. And sometimes the internal voices are even stronger than the external voices. During the Complete Woman Conference, one of the speakers actually spoke on our thoughts being prayer. And I remember my husband teaching several in church. He has said it that thoughts are things. Thoughts are things. Even the Bible says God will do exceedingly and abundantly above all you ever ask, think, or imagine. So it's actually not only when you actually verbalize something, even when you think it. That's why you must stop feeding it, stop giving it power. Those things that actually immobilize you, those things that are not encouraging, you have to make up your mind to actually think on things that makes you happy. Think on things that have value. Think on things that are lovely. Think on things that are beautiful. Stop thinking on things that are ugly. Stop thinking on ugly things. It will not quench your thirst. It will not. And the next one is that I'm going to say this. A default thirst or hunger satisfier that everyone needs is God. God. Yes, let me say it. God. Now, if you're not a person of faith and you are in this community, I just want to let you know that I am a person of faith. Let me speak for myself. And there is a God factor. In fact, there's a God-shaped, I don't know how to put it, there's a God-shaped vacuum in everyone that nothing can satisfy except Him alone. So whether it is even a thirst for your career or your business, if you do not have God on your side, I'm telling you the truth, you may never make maximum progress. It will be a life of struggle. Listen, even the people who know God or the people who serve God, they go through challenges, they go through struggles. But the truth is that there's something about faith There's something about trusting. There's something about knowing that, hey, I am not alone on this journey. So if you are here, maybe you're watching this on the replay or you're watching it right now, and you're feeling like, listen, Pastor Favor, you don't understand what I'm going through. Mine is huge, mine is massive, mine is bad. I want to ask, what position is God in your life? I'm not talking about going to church. What do you have? A very working, let me use the word. Do you have a working, I think that's the appropriate. Do you have a working relationship with God? Do you have? Because listen, there are times when nobody else can help you. You see, for that woman at the well, all the men that she had met, including the one that she was already living with, could not satisfy. But immediately she encountered Jesus. Immediately, can you imagine that woman began to do what she couldn't do before? Immediately she encountered Jesus. Something sparked up on her inside. Something sparked up on her inside. If you look at this, the woman that came to the well at the beginning, at the initial time where this discussion started, and the woman that left the well, they are not the same. Something happened because she encountered the living well, the living water. She was coming to actually take water that she would drink and tomorrow she would come back again. But she now met the living water. I can tell you, God is amazing. If you are a woman in this community, I want to ask of you that your relationship with God is not a relationship that goes on holiday. You know what I mean by a relationship that goes on holiday? There are some days that, hey, you remember God. And there are some days you see God just in one place. You must be somebody that 24/7 you are conscious of your relationship with God, because it's actually the fountain. How can you even achieve purpose? How can you even do business? How can you be outstanding in your place of work if you do not have the supernatural? You know, the supernatural is the super on top of the natural. It's so important. It's so important. So you need God. Now, even if you say, oh, I have a relationship with God, you need to now take it deeper. You need to take it to another level. You need to take it to another level. I'm telling you. So to increase your thirst is that you begin to yearn and thirst for the things of God. You begin to yearn, as in you push yourself into that zone where God will speak to you. You push yourself into that, where the presence of God. I tell people, I say, even in your office or your social media, everywhere, God is there. God does not go on break. He doesn't go on break. So you cannot even be a part-time Christian woman or a part-time Christian. You cannot. Do you understand? This is deep, right? So you want to thirst for more? God. They that thirst for righteousness, you must thirst for it. You must thirst for something good. You must thirst for it. It's very important. In fact, it should even be the number one thing that I would have shared. We must thirst for it. There has to be a yearning. There has to be a drive. Oh my God, I don't know how to say it. There has to be an addiction. You see people that are addicted, right? To the point that it consumes all of you. And I can tell you, check out anyone who is very passionate about God. They're also, and they're not really, really passionate. I'm not talking religious people. passionate and doing things for the kingdom, check out their career and their businesses. They're also doing very well. Check out, they are doing very well in their business, in their career, in their marriage. They are doing well. If they are genuinely serving and genuinely passionate and have a working relationship, because you can never be stranded. You can never be stranded because you will hear a voice telling you this is what to do. Okay. Next is that you want to switch your thirsts. Now, thirst in itself can actually be negative or positive. That's the truth. Some people can begin to thirst. You see people that thirst for cigarettes, some people thirst for alcohol, some people, some people thirst to pull other people down. You must be someone who you thirst for, number one, a deeper walk with God. You thirst to be excellent. You thirst to make an impact. You thirst to put a smile on someone's face. You thirst to be kind to people. Very, very, very important. You see, in John chapter 4 and verse 34, Jesus, still in that story, after Jesus had had spoken to the woman and all of that, that particular thing filled him up. It filled him up, and he made a statement. When they asked him to come and eat, he said something. He said, "My meat." Some translations of the Bible will say, "My food, my meat is to do the will of God." The question is, what is that thing that you do that is food to you? That can say, you know when you are very, 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 very hungry and they bring very sumptuous meal for you, you eat it and you're full. Now, what Jesus was actually saying here was not even physical food. They brought physical food, but he said, this particular thing that I just did now has filled me up. So you must switch your thirsts. You must move away from thirsting for mundane things. There are some people who are impulsive buying. Impulsive buying. Impulse, they want to buy everything. Some people, oh my God, the level of irresponsibility is high. So Jesus said, my meat, my food. So the thing is, what is food to you? What exactly can you do? And after you have done it, even when you have not even eaten physical food, you feel so full. Remember I said, it's not enough for us to thirst, but it's for us to be filled. What is that thing? You see what I'm doing right now is food to me. Encouraging women is like fried rice and chicken to me. It's food. It's satisfying. I am happy when I see a woman rise. I am happy when I see a woman make it. And so I'm very, very, very willing to even contribute and tell her this is how to do it, because it is food to me. It is meat. It is one of the things that feels me. So I am very thirsty to see somebody rise, especially women. You know, while growing up, I did not have, I'm the first daughter, so I did not even say maybe I have someone like an elder sister, somebody who held me by the hand. I was just mentoring me and talking to me. I didn't have anyone. But, listening to mentors, I mean, women mentors, and real women who actually help other women rise, I was inspired. And I made up my mind that I was going to seriously help, encourage, motivate, work with, except the ones who don't want to work with me, to ensure that they have that holy hunger and thirst that I also have. And they do something that fills them up. So, what is meat to you? What satisfies you? What is meat to you? There are some people who, it is this Big Brother Nigeria, it's BBN, right? Is it BBN? I think it's Big Brother. For some people, BBN is meat to them. BBN. Some people, Z World is meat to them. I'm telling you the truth. Some people, Fashion is meat to them. That's what fills them up. They are thirsty, but that they are thirsty for something, but that is what is filling them up. To some people, it is to procrastinate. To some people, it is laziness. I'm telling you the truth. So, what is meat to you? Listen, until you come to a point where what you do is like food, then there's still a long way to go. If you're not yet there and you're still on a journey, I want to encourage you to keep working. I want to encourage you to keep working. You get to a point where it consumes you. You pursue it. It consumes you, You pursue it. You take hold of it until the thing takes hold of you. Do you get it? So, as the year 2020 begins to wind, we're just 4 months to go. Do you know that the remaining 4 months can actually turn around massively? Yes. Yes. Maybe you're asking this question in your heart right now. Where do I even start from? I don't have any drive. I've tried a lot of things, it's not working. It's just 4 months. Listen, things can turn around even in 2 months. Look at the COVID era. The COVID era was roughly, I think it was from March, is it January, March, April? I mean, the intense lockdown. There are people that achieved so much in 2 months. Some people achieved so much in 2 months. So if you're asking this question and saying, oh, I'm writing 2020 off. No, don't write it off. Don't write it off. You'll be so shocked. If you will intentionally follow through these processes that I've actually explained, I'm telling you, by the end of 2020, you'll be so shocked at who you have become. You'll be so shocked at the things that you have achieved. So don't give up. Don't. Even if you have failed, try again. Go again. That's what you do. Don't give up. There are times when I'm working on a particular thing and it becomes so overwhelming. I tell myself I'm coming back. Maybe at that particular time, maybe my brain has been overloaded. So I just move over to something else, but I make sure I come back to it. Like, for example, during the lockdown, we began to create, we always wanted to create, to take our marriage academy online. But sometimes when you just look at it, it's huge, it's massive. And there were lots of technicalities when it comes to do with creating the course, and design, and everything that has to do with it. And it was doing so during that intense lockdown. I told myself, I am going to learn graphics. I'm going to do whatever it is. I was hungry. I was thirsty. I had someone who was actually building my website, and the person has been very busy. I call, oh, I'm coming. And really, during the lockdown, a lot of IT people, a lot of the IT guys were very, very busy. A lot of them were locked down, but they were very, very busy. Of course, that's actually their terrain. I told myself, so by the time do you know that? And I said, this cannot hold me. I went to YouTube. I was very hungry. I said, learning. I joined an accountability group of people who create content. And I began to learn. I spotted a particular woman there who I knew was actually very good with IT. I sent her a message. That will bring me to the next thing I'm going to talk about scaling up. I sent her a message. I said, whoa, he's like, you're very good. I didn't think, oh, this is Pastor Favor. Oh, I should hire somebody to do it. No, we're locked down, and I was going to maximize the lockdown because I was hungry. I was thirsty. I had told myself this course has to be created or it has to be created. That's it. That's it. I said, when you are hungry, your hunger will drive you. And kept walking. There were nights. I remember, in fact, I'm just remembering now. There were, sometimes I'll crawl into the bed and my husband will be like, there are times when I slept by 3 a.m. I have slept by 4 a.m. I have slept by 1 a.m. What was I doing? I was trying to make sure that I maximized the moment. I was hungry. I was thirsty for more. I needed to scale up whatever it is I was doing in the marriage academy. Slept by 4 a.m., slept by 3 a.m. But you know the beautiful thing? Today is September 1. We fixed a date that the course will be launched September 1, and that's Marriage of Your Dream Pre-Marriage online course. So if you're a single person here or you want to get married, there is an online course, whether you're in America, Australia, UK, wherever you are, there's an online course that you can take. You see the way you're watching me, the way you're listening to me right now, you're watching me now, that's how you can actually take that pre-marriage online course in the comfort of your home. So today, September 1, 2020, that pre-marriage online course launched today. It launched today. Why is it launching today? It's launching today because I was hungry. It's launching today because I was ready to give it all it takes. I was ready. Whether if it was going to be sleep, I was going to deny myself sleep. If it was learning, I was going to learn. And so some of the designs that you see that I post, I designed them myself. I have learned how to do graphics. It does not reduce my anointing. It's without. Rather, it makes me to do whatever it is I want to do on the go. Fantastic. So I ask you, switch it. Lastly, now you have to scale up. Scale up, I think I've mentioned it. You need to make up your mind to say, I'm actually going to give it whatever it takes. If I need to call someone, if I need to fast, put myself on a fast, yes. If I need to read, I will do it. You need to scale up. If I need to collaborate, you need to do something that you have not done. If it's something that you have done, you need to do it in a way that you have not done it before. That's actually how to thirst and then feel your thirst. It is only the person that is hungry that will be fed. It is only the person that is thirsty that will be fed. And as I round up, for you to actually increase your thirst for the presence of God, especially in the area of your worship and having your time of fellowship with God. I'm not talking about corporate fellowship, as in fellowship where everybody, maybe in your local assembly in the church, or everybody is lifting up hands. I mean you, one-on-one with God. Where nobody is motivating you, say, lift up your hands and worship, especially in church. Oh, can we just let us be in the mood of worship? You are the one man to now create the mood. And it's important. It's important. You know, I tell myself this. I tell myself that any day that I'm so cranky, any day that I make a lot of mistakes, then it means I did not really saturate myself in the presence of God, because there's something the presence of God does to you. It lightens the burden. It does. So you must first. David says, as the deer pants after the waters, so my soul. We have so much distraction. And as a woman, I will tell you, there's a lot of things competing for your attention. If you're a single person, your work is calling you, your business is calling you, friends are calling you, social media is calling you, fashion is calling you. A lot of things are calling you. If you're married, children are calling you. If you have 5 children, 5 different children with different personalities are calling you. Your husband is calling you. You're a pastor's wife. Your pastoral work is calling you. You're a businesswoman. Your business is calling you. Your in-laws are calling you. Your village people are calling you. A lot of things are calling you. If we are not careful, we will answer. We will actually answer all of these people. You know why? Because their voices actually seem to be loudest. So you can audibly, they are very audible, so you can hear them. But that's God who is up there in heaven, or the Holy Spirit who is just within you, who is just quiet there. He doesn't scream out so loud, so we can actually focus on responding to all of these other things. And you know what? These things have a way of draining us. And we never, ever respond to God or respond to that presence of God, where actually that is even where we even receive energy, where we even receive that infilling, so that we cannot answer these people. But when we actually do that, we do the opposite. We answer these people, they drain us. They drain us so much. They drain us so much, and we do not answer the Spirit of God. Switch it. Switch it. Switch it. Okay. Me alone, you alone, having a time where you just open your mouth and you're just worshiping. You just open your mouth and just talking. You carry your own Bible. You carry your own Bible and you're reading, and you're not reading it because you want to go and share one rema somewhere. You're reading it because you want to feed your spirit, man. Listen, it is your spirit that will sustain your infirmity. It is your spirit that will, the Bible says, if you faint in the days of adversity, your strength is small. It is your spirit. So I ask for you to thirst after the presence of God and be filled. You must pursue it. You must pursue it. Some people are waiting for where God to come and wake them up like this. I just trust that the remaining part of this year and this month of September will be amazing. You will begin to see so much results in your business, in your career, in whatever it is that you do. If you just learn how to thirst. So you can thirst, aside thirsting for the presence of God, testing and staying in the place of prayer, where you just open up your mouth, not when they say, let's bread and let us now begin to pray. You find out that every other thing will fall into place. I want to appreciate all of you, okay? I can see some persons who are here. I'm sure, you see, I was just talking calmly. Somebody saying, it's deep, and it's amazing. So I want to encourage you, thirst for excellence. Thirst for impact. Thirst for all the positive things that you can ever thirst after. And as you thirst for them, you will be filled. And when you are filled, you can now impact other people. When Jesus affected that particular woman and that woman was filled, she ran into the city. That woman ran into that place and began to talk, and people believed her because they used to know her and they believed her. I want to pray that in this month of September, this is a wonderful way to start the month. In this month of September, you will thirst for more. And your thirst will be a positive thirst, and you will be filled. Have a fantastic weekend. Now, I'd like you to drop whatever it is that you learned. Thank you so much for all of you stayed. And for those of you who are actually watching this on the replay, thank you too. I want you to drop. I'm done. Close my book. I'm done. So tell me, what did you learn and all of that? Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Okay. This is where I'm signing out. Signing out. Please, you can see, drop your comments. This is where I'm actually signing out. Have a fantastic week. Have a fantastic month. We're actually going to be having sessions like this every month where you also get to ask questions, mentoring sessions. So I want you to go over and listen to all of this again and look at the areas that spoke deeply to you and see where you want to begin to make adjustments. Bye bye and stay blessed.